It's Shawn and Keaton here. Today we're going to show you some of Keaton's toys and how they're switch enabled and how they work. So in our last video I showed you a little tour of the activity room that we have set up here for Keaton, and I briefly mentioned that he does have some switch toys that he likes to play with and are a good interactive experience for him. So here are the toys sitting behind me right here on this shelf, and shortly I'm going to show you how we set them up and how they work with the switch. But first I'll tell you that these toys are basically so that someone with mobility issues, with cognitive issues, can have an interactive experience playing with them by using a switch or button to activate these toys when they lack the manual dexterity to be able to push buttons or squeeze the toys themselves to activate them. So we have a couple of different switch types here that we use for Keaton. This one has a little clamp on the end of it, and that one we can actually clamp to his wheelchair, and then he can use his head to touch the switch here, and that activates the toys. This one here is called the candy corn switch, because it's shaped like a candy corn, and that one just requires somebody to wave their hand. It's like a motion detector. So you just wave your hand over top of it and it'll activate the toy that way. And this one here is just a standard button. Looks kind of like the easy button you can get from Staples. We usually only use this one as a backup solution because the other two seem to fit our needs, but it's good to have this one anyways, because we don't just limit these toys to only Keaton being allowed to play with them. The other kids are allowed to play with them too. This is all about inclusivity, and that means including them as well, so that they can interact with their brother and play with him, and they can all play together. Now, if you look at these different toys, they all have been modified to have an input for the switch. So on this one, you can see there's a cable. You plug the switch into the end there. These ones here have ports on them. This one's interesting because it's actually controlled remotely by this device. So this will move when this thing is activated, and it has a switch input on both sides of it, because it basically controls these buttons, which can make him move in different directions. And they all do different things. They either light up or move or sing, or in the case of the steam engine here, actually blows bubbles. So lots of different interactive experiences by using the switch. Keaton can get the concept of cause and effect. By hitting the switch, I get this thing to do this. It's a nice sensory experience for him as well, with the different lights and movements and noises and that too. So now I'm going to set up a few of them for Keaton to play with so you can see how they work and how it all works together. So one method that we use is that we have this switch, which is attached to a clamp that clamps to the handle of his wheelchair and can be extended to beside his head, and then he could just turn his head and activate the switch just like that. Activates the toy to do whatever it's supposed to do. Some are a little trickier than others, like this little baby Groot one, because it does spin around quite a bit. I have to be careful to make sure it doesn't fall off the shelf. And because it's actually activated by a third device, so I have to connect the switch. I have to connect the switch to the remote to activate the Groot. So there's actually three things happening here. So now I have the switch connected to the remote, and I'll just push the button to show you what it does. So you see it can be a little crazy. That one's probably better off when we use it on the floor. But, you know, we try and make things work whatever way we can. This one here I think is pretty neat because it's actually a steam engine that blows bubbles and it lights up as well. But again, this one is one that works better on the floor. I'll just show you real quick how it works. This one here I like, and I think it's one of Keaton's favorites because it actually can project a pattern onto the ceiling when he pushes the switch, and it goes in different colors and then lastly we have this little Minion, which just speaks its Minion language when you hit the switch button. So all of these toys are available from a few different vendors. We got some of them on Amazon, some of them are from a vendor called Switch Enabled, and some of them are from another vendor called Adaptabilities. I'll post the links to all three of them in the description below. I will let you know, however, that if you use the Amazon ones, I am an affiliate member, which means that I will make a commission off of the sale, but it will be at no extra cost to you. And I'll just let you know that if you ever want to interact with me in real time and you have any questions about special needs children, what it's like raising a special needs child, or anything in general, I'm available on Twitch every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Mountain Time, where we can come and talk about this stuff and then unwind and play some video games together. Also, we're on Twitter at Pipsqueaks Family. Come join us there for live updates as they happen and to interact with us that way as well. So those are Keaton's Switch toys and how they work, and I hope that we provided some information for people looking for something similar for themselves. Keaton and I now are just going to enjoy playing with these toys together, so we'll see you next time. Bye!